All right, here we go. This is a riveting episode of the Old Nerd Flying Solo. I went to see the 55th anniversary release on the big screen of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which I won't bury the lead. Highly recommend. An easy 9. It's enduring. It's worth seeing for the entire family, and worth seeing for many reasons, actually. And before I get too far down that rabbit hole, let's talk about Fathom Events or Fathom Entertainment. They're the ones that put on these special screenings, typically something usually every week, or at least every month or a couple of weeks. Frank and I went to see Citizen Kane. We went to see The Fifth Element. Both of those were put on nationwide distribution by Fathom Events. So I highly recommend looking into their website, look at what upcoming movies they've got that are showing. Sometimes they're more recent classics, like I went to see The Birdcage with Robin Williams, and then, going all the way back to something like Citizen Kane, and they've even got the Maltese Falcon coming up later this year. But it's always nice to go see those on the big screen because, we all got large TVs. I got like a 90-inch TV in my bedroom. But it's, sitting in the theater, the ambiance of the theater with the other people who are fans, because these are all movies that are obviously been out or around for a long time. So you've got enthusiastic crowd on a very large screen, seeing it essentially the way it was seen when it was first released, and I highly recommend them. So that's a little side jaunt down. Get out and see some of these classic movies on the big screen. Now let's go back to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I really enjoyed it. It's probably been quite a while since I've seen it. Of course, hey, I saw it back when it was brand new, and have seen it multiple times over the years. But one of the things I forget is that it's a musical. There's actually quite a few musical numbers in it. Obviously, not necessarily memorable. There's a couple of really good ones, but the many reasons to see it, Gene Wilder is just fantastic in this movie. And on rewatch, I mean, you could focus on any particular aspect of the movie, but just the study and the performance of Gene Wilder is a masterclass in acting all by itself. Just, the subtle looks, his line delivery, it's a home run. As a matter of fact, when we first see the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka character in this movie, he comes hobbling out from the chocolate factory to greet everybody, and he's got a cane, and he's walking kind of feeble with a limp, and he gets almost up to him, then the cane gets stuck in the ground, and all of a sudden he doesn't have a cane anymore, and he does a forward somersault, jumps up on his feet, and greets everybody. And Gene Wilder actually created that scene for the movie, and allegedly would not perform that character unless they let him put that scene in the movie, because his rationale was, from that moment on, that it sets up the character completely, because from that moment on, you don't know if he's being truthful or not. And yeah, that's just, it defined the character for the rest of the movie. But that's just an example of why this is such a great vehicle for Gene Wilder. Of course, there's always Young Frankenstein, and if you haven't seen it, and probably a lot of people haven't, The Producers with Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel, one of Mel Brooks's early movies. I think maybe his second one. Yeah, those are all great Gene Wilder vehicles and showcase different aspects of him. Oh, and I can't leave out Blazing Saddles. So yeah, those come to mind. Definitely a Gene Wilder fan, and highly recommend Willy Wonka for Gene Wilder alone. The rest of the story is still compelling. The special effects, I mean, if you want to call them that, I mean, this was the early 1970s. This was long before anybody had ever thought about doing CGI. Everything's practical effects, or I guess green screen. But there's not a lot of that in there anyway. Most of it's just practical effects. Another reason to see it is the characters, the kids that are in the movie, the 5 kids that wind up with a golden ticket. 4 of them are next level annoying, and just watching them and the reaction of Gene Wilder to them, yeah, it's over the top, and that's worth seeing as well. I'm not a big fan, especially of the first, maybe the first 20 minutes of it or so. It's kind of a slow build to get into the chocolate factory. I mean, they're trying to set up the worldwide panic of people trying to get the golden tickets and all that. I get it. And then they're trying to beat us over the head and make sure we understand that Charlie and his family are destitute, comically so, by the way, and that he's a good kid. You know, they gotta beat you over the head with that, and so that's a little ponderous. But once they get into the chocolate factory and you get the whole experience with Willy Wonka and him playing off the kids and all that kind of stuff, and his deadpan delivery on some of the lines, yeah. So in case you didn't pick up on that, definitely a reason to go see it. What else can I tell you about the movie? I'll wrap it up here at the end with this. The funniest line in the movie, which was not the funniest line in the movie when the movie was released back in 71 or 72, but has become funny in modern times, is the Oompa Loompas when you first see them in the factory. And by now, if you listen to this podcast, you know what an Oompa Loompa is and what they look like. So when the characters in the movie are exposed or see the Oompa Loompas for the first time, you know, they're in amazement, you know, in awe of the Oompa Loompas. And one of the characters says, "I've never seen anyone with an orange face before." Everybody in the audience burst out laughing. And I'll leave it to the listener to figure out why. But anyway, that wraps it up. Again, go see the movie. Go check out Fathom Events and look for some things you might be interested that are coming up. They cover the broad waterfront, you know, just regular classic movies, sci-fi movies, you name it, comedies, the whole works. And with that, have a good night.